Tappe has released Arc 9 Interlude, and this will be a summary of the chapter. For Petra Light, the Witch of Melancholy, there was only one conclusion she needed to reach. After reading Subaru's Book of the Dead, he exchanged his life to save many people, including her. Petra says even now you want to save Al, right? For Petra, it was absurd. Everything bad Al had done, she wouldn't even be able to count it on all fingers or toes. She would need to call in an invisible hand to continue counting. But still, she didn't think Al was some sort of deep villain. Petra says maybe she's influenced by Subaru's Book of the Dead. Petra had a narrow capacity for caring, but Subaru's greed, it was one of the things she loved about him. She couldn't change Natsuki Subaru, so she would force it. She would make Subaru return by death. She utilized the melancholy witch factor because she knew this would be the ending. Not only that, she could utilize the Witch of Envy. If the witch rampaged due to Petra's reading Subaru's Book of the Dead, then how would Al drive the witch away? This was how. So when Roy was barely breathing, Petra made a promise, saying that she will make an opportunity for him. She would break the promise if it wasn't needed, but Petra would rely on Rem. Rem had realized that Subaru had returned by death, that he sacrificed himself many times to save them, hence why she had to do it. No matter what was gained, she would reset it all. Even Rem, who regained herself, would be reduced to nothing. Subaru and Emilia are both tired, but even if I become a burden, sorry, I wanted to keep saying thank you for not being able to do enough. That is Petra's trial line from the witch's third trial when Emilia does it, so we've got another trial line confirmation. They would do something cruel. Only they could do it. Petra, who read Subaru's Book of the Dead, would watch from afar at the thorny path Emilia followed, and Subaru grinding himself to dust, supporting her. Everything went according to plan. Petra asks if he's falling in love with her, and Subaru says he thinks he is. Petra wonders if this is just in her head, or if this is how Subaru would actually respond. Imaginary Subaru says if everything's going to vanish, what did she sacrifice when speaking to Clind, when obtaining the witch factor of melancholy? Petra says that she wants to keep it a secret, and imaginary Subaru pulls a sour face. In reality, what she sacrificed was the possibility to be Subaru's bride, but she wanted to keep that secret. The sacrifice did work. It didn't mean that Petra would 100% be Subaru's bride, it just meant that all the efforts and future possibilities that she would have spent trying to become Subaru's bride would be used as power for the authority. For Petra though, that possibility of maybe being Subaru's bride is what she wanted to think about, and that certainty was confirmed by the witch factor. This is why Petra tried so hard. Petra tells the future her to work hard. It was a cheer from a girl who became the Witch of Melancholy to a simple village girl who did not become the Witch of Melancholy. A cheer of love from an isekai girl, just a little bit heavy. And with that, the chapter ends. So the Great Reset was planned from the start. Rem knew of Return by Death, and Rem and Petra essentially schemed to kill Subaru and reset everything back to the beginning, because that's what Subaru would have wanted. There's also talk about how Reinhardt's sword resonated when cutting free Subaru from the Shamak, meaning that Reinhardt can actually draw his sword against Subaru, which is interesting. And people are talking about, if you go back to the first episode, the first arc of season 1, when Reinhardt first meets Subaru in the alleyway, you can see that Reinhardt puts his hand on the Reed Astria sword, which shows that he can actually pull the sword out. So that's quite interesting. I might make a video talking about the Arc 9 backlash, which is currently happening. A lot of people are not happy with the Great Reset, so look forward to that video tomorrow or whenever I decide to make it.